recorded.
Right. Hey, everybody, this is Jordan McConnell with the Crohn's Veteran Podcast. Thank you so much for joining me. I am joined by my amazing co-hosts, Renika Wood and CJ Cabrera. How you guys both doing today?
Excellent.
Great.
Thanks, thanks as always for being here. It's appreciated. We have a very special guest. We are honored to have Tyiam Jordan. He is a functional medical practitioner out of Florence, South Carolina, and he's also the author of the I Am Holistic Journal. We are grateful to have him here. How you doing, man?
Hey man, how you doing? I appreciate you guys having me on tonight.
It's definitely a pleasure. We're appreciative and an honor to have you. It's always really cool for anybody that comes out here and and shares their journey and shares their story with us. It's cool.
Yep, I appreciate it.
So first off, just to kind of before we get to the maybe the IBD part of your life, and I'm just curious about who you are. So if you can give our listeners a little bit of a background about who Mr. Jordan is.
Hey, I'm 39 years old. I like to say that if you got 39 years to spend with me, that's how complex, how complicated, how intricate my life has been. Um, I like to consider myself a very diverse, very eclectic individual um, with many talents. I like to consider myself very resourceful. Uh, Starting back from childhood, um, being teased as a little boy, that created a courage within myself that I will find out later in life during my IBD journey, um, that it was always there. You know what I'm saying? And so my life has been a journey. My life has been an evolution. I'm sure that people can understand how life is a process and how life is always changing. And along the way, we meet people, we pick up various tools, various skill, various education, um, and various sources and resources and so forth. So, and it's all beneficial to our existence here. You know, there's no right or wrong um, in this life. It's just a matter of what works for the individual. And, there's my truth and there's your truth. And then we come together and we show empathy towards one another. And that's something that I highlight in my journal, showing empathy towards each other in this life of uh, if it's not one condition, if we don't share in the same condition, we can share in the same experiences.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Yeah.
That I agree with that 100%. Definitely. So I guess thank you for sharing with us on Ty. You prefer Ty or Ty? What name you prefer? Is it called you Ty or Ty? I mean, what you
Ty,
prefer?
Ty's cool. Ty's cool.
Uh,
Ty's
that's
cool.
moving through your life. You indicated you had like a lot of experiences you have been through in your life in a lot of different evolutions and things. Do you mind sharing about um your journey with learning that you were diagnosed with an inflammatory bowel disease?
So based on what I know now, how the emotions play into like emotion, stress, uh, cortisol level, like how all of that can play into having a healthy gut. I can remember back into my early 20s when I'm experiencing different symptoms. I didn't know what it was. I would have the butterflies, and then next thing you know, I gotta I gotta go do number. You know,
Right.
so just over the years, not really taking any thought, not really being aware of what's going on, and me being holistic in nature, uh, I'm thinking, okay, well, I can take this or take that, and it'll subside, and um, but then it just progressed. You know, it progressed. So one thing about a chronic uh, condition, chronic disease, is that it will manifest itself after a certain period of time. You know what I mean? And if you're not aware of your body, you know, a lot of what I teach is knowing your body, being aware of your body, listening to your body, being in tune with your body. And so I've always been in tune with my body, having practicing martial arts. I've been practicing martial arts for about 20 years. I'm always physical, you know, I'm emotionally in tune with myself, but I just felt like, or I was in a stage of denial, like me having a disease. I didn't want to grasp that because then I will have to deal with how will I go forth with this understanding, this knowledge. So, mind you, the reason why I brought up the fact that I was teased and picked on and bullied in school, because all my life I was criticized at some point. So, speaking holistically, a lot of disease manifests itself based on our inner beliefs about ourselves, our inner thoughts, our inner emotions. That's why self-love is one of the most powerfulest emotions possible because it buffers us. It's like a preventative measurement for certain diseases. So I internalized a lot of my trauma. I internalized much of my trauma growing up. And so as it began to manifest and as I began to go to the doctor and get you know, medical advice and medical attention, um, I'm like, man, this is another thing that's wrong with me. This is something else that is wrong with me. I wanted to procrastinate, right? So, I mean, there's a 3-year story that I have. Um, 3 years ago, about 3 years ago, 2, 3 years ago, I had some major issues happen and found out that I definitely had a case of Crohn's and, you know, GI inflammation, gastritis, and so forth. And, you know, along with that, it led to other things. So that's a piece of it. That's a piece of it.
I got
Thank
so.
you.
Thank you for sharing that. So I'm curious. So what was your mind state? When or at that time, you found out you had Crohn's. I guess how did you react to it? How'd your family, the people you care about around you, and like how do they all feel about it?
First of all, I was scared, man.
Mhm.
I'm scared, but at the same time, I'm trying to put on a strong front.
Yeah,
I'm
brave
trying to put
face.
on a strong face.
Mm-hmm,
You know,
mm-hmm.
now as far as my family, they don't know what the heck is a Crohn's disease. They don't know what that is. So they're just like, hey, drink some ginger ale. Eat some Campbell's, soup. You'll be all right. I'm like, no, sir. You know. So first stage was, you know, fear. First, I was scared. I'm like, how is this going to affect my life? That's the first thing. How is this going to affect my life? Um, having talked to the doctors and again, me being holistic, I understand there's a big business that's there when it comes to medical, the medical field. And, I always felt torn whenever I would go to my appointments. And I'm talking to the doctor and he's telling me like, hey, um, this is what you're gonna have to do, and I'm like, man, I don't I don't know if I really want to do this. Now I didn't tell them that, but I was saying it was like when I got the diagnoses, everything around me like closed off,
Mm.
right? And there was a little dimmer of light was just like, just keep going, keep putting one foot in front of the other. Don't try to be over analytical with this. Don't try to overthink it. Don't try to, think yourself out of this. You're going to have to go through some things in order to heal. And I like to say healing is a daily journey. It's every day I heal, and especially with this, it's every day monitoring. It's every day being on top of. It's every day, being conscious of what you're doing and what you're thinking and what you're feeling. Because I know when I have certain stressors around me, it's like, oh, I can feel it. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So setting boundaries. I've learned to set boundaries for myself. You know what I'm saying? And when I did that, it caused a division between some of my family members. You know what I'm saying? It created like this division because I need to minimize my stress in my life. And in doing so, I set the boundary, but they didn't understand it. They didn't understand it. So it is what it is.
Yeah. Now, you know what? That's a very interesting perspective because I'm gonna say us collectively, us being diagnosed with a chronic illness, and then we are trying to get acclimated and have an understanding of what our diagnosis is. So our family members, when they don't know nothing, we don't know nothing. But what we do know is like one thing more than them. It does get significantly confused. I mean, it causes a confusion, and it can be uncomfortable. I know for me, my mom and my sisters thought that I could take a nap or drink some Gatorade, or either I'd be okay. It wasn't until I became educated myself and I learned about my own personal journey and that I can educate them. Even now, they'll understand like why I'm tired or fatigued or why I'm in the bed at 12 o'clock in the afternoon when I ain't did nothing but laid in the bed because I'm tired. But so just having to understand it, but a good point is boundaries. Knowing your boundaries is very important because a lot of times we tend to want to be Superman woman, want to do everything and not set boundaries to people, and that can in return play into our emotions, that can return to play into our good health. So, being an African American male, there have been a lot of stigma with mental health, and whatnot. So, I know you and I have talked about this, but behind closed doors. But what are some of the things that you personally experienced through the challenges of you being faced with this chronic illness, maneuvering through this world as an African American male and having the stigma associated with this diagnosis from within itself?
Oh man, good question. Like I associated this diagnosis with rejection. Mm. My body rejected me again. Autoimmunity, autoimmune conditions, your body attacking itself. I'm like, yo, what's wrong with me? Right? Like what's wrong with me? Then it's like a cascade, a cycle started to happen. You start to think, okay, I start to think, what's wrong with me? All right. And then from that thought of what's wrong with me, then I'm feeling pain. I'm like, where's this inflammation come from? Where's this joint pain coming from? I didn't do any working out today. I just laid in the bed. I rested. Why am I feeling so tired and so, my joint pain and neck pain and brain fog and like all these different things. And I'm like, what did I do to deserve this? Trying to reach out to people who understand, they don't. They don't. They want to listen, but they don't have the capacity to relate, right? They don't have the capacity to relate. So what do? Now you have to go within. You have to go within yourself. You have to pull out things within yourself that you didn't even know that's there. So in the cave, I like to call it, I go in my cave and I meditate, and I'm able to overcome certain uh, mental negatives relating to my thought process. I'm able to look at those things from an objective point of view, meaning that I don't identify even what's going on in my body. I don't identify myself with those symptoms. I get up, ooh, I may feel a pain, but I'm like, yo, this is not me, right? This pain doesn't define me. Um, people ask me, hey, you want to go get some drinks? You want to go do this? I'm like, yo, I can't drink nothing, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, I gotta, you know, they be like, come on, have some fun. So it's almost like this, you got to deal with a little bit of peer pressure at the same time, the social pressure, the social programming, and I definitely had to work on my inner resolve, or this thing will break you down. Like, you have to work on your inner resolve so that you can clear out the chatter. You know what I'm saying? Even within yourself and from the outside. So this disease, this diagnosis is a relationship with you and you. You know what I mean? So, but I'm loving the journey though. It's a hey, you get knocked down, we get up. It's a daily journey.
Yeah, keep it moving.
I like it. Yeah, absolutely.
And no is a complete sentence. So
Definitely, and you know, I was just thinking the same thing that you're talking about boundaries with family members, and yeah, and I said it's if you kind of say, hey, I have this disease and this is what I need, and people can't rock with that, it's okay to to love and say people from afar, what I'm saying, like like right, and so I and I've definitely experienced that in my own life, that um, you know invisible illnesses are just like that for a reason. People can't see, how you feel. Like I've been sick as a dog, the last, actually months, since I actually moved to Las Vegas. I think it was like a couple of days ago, I actually, woke up and actually felt good. I think I told CJ and Nika that like actually felt, oh wow, I actually, didn't wake up like feeling sick this morning. And so like, so it's, it's a, but that you can take pictures on social media and you smile and all that stuff, and people, oh yeah, he isn't that sick. I know, but it's just kind of, what can you do? So, but but right. And so, but I think I think it's important though, just I like CJ, it's I'm very okay with saying no to people, and but but it's something that I still work on too. And so just to, because I'm by nature I'm a kind of person that likes to help people, and so I mean it's kind of, I make pros better and stuff. I want to help people, and so, but taking that too far, you got to make sure you've got self-love, taking care of you more, all that. And so, so again, man, so what, so how did you, get to the point of, being this man we're seeing, today that's, advocating, speaking out, talking to people, and kind of coming from that, that space where, that you're in, negative, space, or how'd you transition, to being able being able to be comfortable, having like a, social media account, talking to people, helping people, like, I'm curious.
Man, I can't attribute it to myself. I like to say namaste to people because, you know, there's a divine nature within me, man, that is that glimmer of light that when I wanted to quit, when I wanted to give up, it was like this inner fight, this inner fight to help me to keep going. So every day, you know, I had to take my days by moments, moment by moment by moment by moment. You know, uh, being a martial artist, everything is about uh, fighting with what you have, with what you have,
Right.
fighting with what you have, right? So today, I may have just a little bit of hope, just a little bit, or just a little bit of like good news, or a little bit of support, or a little like someone can say something to me to keep me going just for a little bit longer. And then this other person comes along and they give me a little bit more. I may come across a show like you guys. They give me, okay, man, I'm seeing these guys on here. Boom, I'm gonna keep going, keep going, keep going until the next thing you know, momentum. You know, you have this energy that is circulating within you that is driving you now. So Bruce Lee says something about when his punch or kick, it just hit whenever the opportunity affords itself. Whenever he's before his opponent, he's practiced so much. Whenever there's an opening, his punch just punch and his kick just kick. So in my daily living, I'm not so much focused on myself anymore. You know, it's not just about me anymore. It's more about, man, inspiring others, encouraging others, but being authentic about it though. Being authentic. I posted something on social media of me dancing, right? Puffy got a thing where he go like this right here, right? With the shoulder, right? So on my social media, people was like, man, you want attention. I'm like, man, I didn't do that for no attention. I did it because it's an expression of me saying to myself that through it all, I'm gonna be joyful, man. I'm gonna be happy. I'm gonna
Definitely, definitely,
enjoy the
definitely.
moment. Things are not perfect in my life at this point, but but I understand how uh
It's like gratitude mindset.
manifesting. Hmm?
Instead of having a gratitude mindset, a
Yeah,
little
yeah,
bit.
yeah. And I understand how manifesting work and how you manifest more positivity in your life.
Definitely.
It's not about like being you know, in a state of negativity, or I should say this, a chronic state of negativity, right? We all have moments. I have my moments every day, but the ability to like bounce out of those moments, that's the deciding factor. Excuse me. How well can you process your emotions? How well can you process what you're feeling? You know, for me, that's the true power of mental health. Like how I process what I'm feeling. You know, so yeah, just taking it, look at it, and look at it as a fight. You know,
Definitely.
if it killed me, it's like if it killed me, okay, whatever. But I'm not gonna be fearful. Like
Hmm.
I'm not gonna be fearful. That's my mantra. I will
Hmm.
not be fearful.
Right.
Don't be
You
scared.
know
You
what?
know.
That's awesome, Ty. I'm glad you mentioned that that was a good analogy about the momentum. Like take a little piece of here, a little piece of there. And as you were saying that, my mind went back to a video game. You have the race car games, and you get to the checkpoint. You go like a little bit
Hmm.
further, checkpoint,
Yeah,
a little
yeah.
bit further before you know it, you got a whole other minute that you can really play the game, the excitement and joy. So I can see that how that these little small acts of I call them warm fuzzies that we get throughout the course of our days can really give us that little bit of encouragement to go like a little second, minute, or hour longer, or maybe even a day, depending upon how significant that feel good factor is. You know, you sharing about the word fear itself, that's something I think that I personally struggle with, is fear of knowing or not knowing. Today I'm doing so well, and tomorrow what possibly could happen to me. Right now I haven't had any type of challenges in a long time, per se, of me being physically ill, but having other challenges I have with my Crohn's is something different. But in the same token, having people like Jordan and CJ, my brothers, I can really talk to, have immense personal, in-depth, intimate conversation about the most significant things that people find to be embarrassing. But I can relate to these guys because they know and understand my struggles as I understand theirs. So having a support group is very important for me personally. I'm glad that you're able to come on the show today and share about the positive things you're doing to continue on your journey, your fight to be in this your fight on this road to um getting through your chronic illness. Now, this goes back to your book. I know you're big on your holistic approaches and things. Does Heal Your Gut in 60 Days? Is that, I think I said it correctly? We discussed it before. Do you mind giving like a little synopsis on that for a moment, so we can just get like a little understanding, and where can we purchase these items that you have published per your information on your gram post?
All right. So the I Am Holistic Journal will be available for pre-order in about 2 weeks. In about 2 weeks. The Heal Your Gut in 60 Days will be available in another maybe month. Now, this is, I take my clients through what I have in both of my books, the I Am Holistic Journal and the Heal Your Gut in 60 Days. Now, remember I said healing is a process. Healing is a everyday journey, right? It's just like being healthy is a everyday journey, right? So one of my first principles that I focus on is no condemnation. No condemnation. We're all at different points of our IBD journey. What you may do for your health is what you do. You know, what I do not impose, or I'm not dogmatic about my approach. I offer it, and if someone can resonate with that, then hey, come along and I can teach you and I can show you. So whenever I speak of holistic is a total part of who we are: emotional, spiritual, mental, physical. All right. Now, it's not separate pieces or isolated pieces. It works collectively together. So what I did for my own journey, my own IBD journey, is I had to trace back what was the causative factor with my gut health. What caused it? What is the root cause? And I do this with everyone because it's different for everyone. So there is something that is called leaky gut within the functional medicine community, within the holistic community, that a lot of medical physicians, they're taking note to. That, you know, you go to your gastroenterologist, he's going to be like, nah, that's not what it is. It's not leaky gut, you know? So leaky gut, most of the times, is the culprit. Not sure if you guys ever heard of leaky gut. Have you guys heard of leaky gut? All right, cool. So what I do, I help to heal that. In addition to that, because whenever you have permeability issues going on in your gut, whenever you have particles and bacteria, microbes floating around in your bloodstream, you get an inflammatory response, right? Once this response continues to happen over and over and over again, based on the foods that you eat, based on the quality, the state of your gut, you'll have other issues. For me, I started having I started to become anemic, started becoming anemic. I started to develop palpitations. I started to develop atrial fibrillation. Y'all heard of that before? Yo, that's some stuff that, like, on top of this, on top of the Crohn's diagnosis, it happened at the same time with the atrial fibrillation and the Crohn's. And I'm like, yo, how does this correlate? Well, basically, atrial fibrillation is just arrhythmia, right, of your atria, the top portion of your heart. Now, they wanted to talk to me about doing ablations and being on this medication for the rest of my life. They wanted to have me on this hard blood thinner, strong blood thinner. And I'm like, yo, man, I'm 38 years old, man. Like, you mean to tell me I can't get my heart rate above 100? I'm physically active. I stand up and I walk. My heart rate is up at 100. So when I learned the correlation between losing minerals and electrolytes and how that deals with other aspects of your of your health, I began to develop this program. Emotional support, because at the same time, atrial fibrillation, Crohn's diagnoses, my mother just passed, right? Me and my father's not talking. I'm not sleeping. I'm not eating. Severe case of diarrhea, 2 months, bloody stool, bloody every day, 3, 4, 5 times a day. Hemorrhoids, severe hemorrhoids. So when I tell you I was taking about now I can release like what I actually did to like go into remission. It's not me teaching people to heal Crohn's, because that's illegal, because I'm not a medical doctor. But what I will say is if you heal the root cause of it, but you have to address it holistically, emotionally. So what you guys saw me inhale was some essential oils. I'm very big in essential oils. Also, the vagus nerve. Not sure if you guys ever heard of the vagus nerve. Vagus nerve?
No.
No?
That one's a negative.
Yeah, man. So this thing runs deep with the gut. Your neurotransmitters, everything. Whenever you have a messed up gut, it throws off your neurotransmitters. So that's why I was having anxiety. I couldn't drive because of anxiety. I would wake up in the morning, palpitation, heart beating, boom, 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 boom. For what? Because vagus nerve, anxiety, low electrolytes, my minerals, low potassium, low magnesium, my probiotics, like my good bacteria, my friendly flora. I was experiencing C. diff, SIBO, all at the same time. So this is why I implemented this program, to address these areas one at a time, but together. You know what I'm saying? And my journey, I haven't had to take any biologicals, but I did say this: if I need to, I will. If I need to get to that point. But that's when I said no condemnation, right? Because as a health practitioner, a lot of times we tend to not show empathy or be sympathetic towards others. Like, are anyone a vegan?
No, no, me either.
Tried it a day or two, but never stuck with
Have
it.
you? You said a day or two. But let me ask you this: going vegan, have you seen your symptoms increase? Oh, before. So, so what I do, I customize, I tailor my program for people because I'm in a few groups and a lot of people recommend vegan diet, and I'm like, yo, is you crazy? With Crohn's, you want me to eat some cruciferous vegetables every day, some high fiber foods every day? You know, gas on gas on gas, what's gonna happen?
Like
You know what
this.
I'm saying? Gas on,
Bubble
you
guts.
gotta work your way, man.
Right.
Peaches, pineapples? Oh, peaches, peaches, peaches. I thought you were telling me.
Mhm.
Oh,
No, he said bubble guts. I said,
I say, yeah, I say bubble guts.
for
it's
real.
a lot of the foods we eat, like all these. We talked to young lady last week about these foods and stuff like these green vegetables and cabbage and collards and all types of greenery. Like, oh, it's so good for you. Like, yeah, you want to try me with some collard greens? Yeah, right. I try to be hard headed, be crying tomorrow, but no, not good luck.
For real. For real.
Yeah, thank you, Ty.
For
Like
real.
this has been like we love to hear people bring their different perspectives to their journey because everyone walk is so different. There is so many ways to cook spaghetti. Some folks cook the spaghetti all at one time in the pan. Some do their meat first, then noodles, but in the day they making spaghetti. So meaning this, whatever your journey is, what you desire is your journey. So I know personally I can appreciate the educational piece and the knowledge you share about your journey, what you've done, and the fact that you're not eliminating, if need be, medication to assist you outside of your approach. Because some people have that mindset where they're closed off from that 100%. But the fact that you're saying, you know what, if I need this, I'm not ignorant to say I'm not going to take it. Not saying people, nobody's ignorant, I'm saying that, but still, you're saying I will utilize if need be. So I can say I can appreciate that.
Uh,
Thank you for sharing.
Absolutely.
I will say this. I wish I would have found, the functional medicine approach earlier in my IBD journey because I feel like I legit healed my gut. And I feel like in the beginning, my parents did take me to like a holistic doctor, and they gave me a bunch of like different holistic things, like dragon's breath and like I think like it was like something with like cat piss. I don't know. I don't even know if
What?
that's real. I think that's weed. Never mind.
Oh,
But it was like
catnip.
yeah, it was like catnip. Yeah, it was like a
It's
whole
a
bunch of
cat piss.
it was like a whole bunch of different like holistic things, and I was just
So
taking them
funny.
on like a
That is
schedule.
it's funny.
Yeah, I was taking them on a schedule, and it really didn't do anything for me. And I was just like, I like honestly just scratched it off my list. I was like, holistic approach done. But during the time, like you said, you literally have to address every single thing, not just your gut. You have to address your sleep. You have to address your stress. You have to exercise. You got to watch your diet. You got to watch what you eat. You got to reduce the inflammation in your body, like in order for all the things that you're taking to take effect. Because with that inflammation, it's really not doing that much. So you got to let your gut rest before you can start the healing.
There you
Definitely.
go. So I'm a big proponent of fasting.
Yes, yes, perfect. Fasting is really good.
He just had me trying to fast one time for that. Well, I tried. He said he doing that. But it's like the what you was on? Like
Intermittent fasting.
I think it's
Yeah,
like
Yeah,
days.
it's perfect.
Now.
It helps
it's
a
perfect.
lot.
I do that too. Definitely. I do that.
That's cool. That's
Where
cool.
I am now, I do got to leave in a second. Hold on a second, Jordan. For me, I know I'm beyond the approach now of holistic because I know where I am in my journey. I cannot revert back to the approach of holistic approach. I can just start now where I am to move forth if need be. But having the once again education about it makes me more comfortable with having my own mindset. My doctor, I text her on Sunday. I said, listen, I have done well on my Stellara. I wasn't looking to remove it out of my regimen of diet for the next, well, every 2 months versus every month because I feel like I'm doing well. And I said, my plan was with the devil's den. And she haven't got back to me yet. She probably like, girl, you don't leave the medication alone. But what I'm at now, I want to stop taking for all personal reasons because I think it's not, I think it's really have minimize the progression of my healing when I had my major surgery April 2nd. It really have minimized and interfered with the healing of my procedure I had because I didn't have these extra intense manifestations until I started on this Delavra. It healed one part of me, but it started to disrupt another part of me. So I'm accepting of this challenge, but yet still want to know how I can get to the proper ending of this. But always optimistic, always pleasant, and love to hear information. So thank you, Ty, for being a part of this panel today. We're so appreciative of you.
I appreciate you guys.
Definitely.
Definitely,
Thank you.
Jordan?
Thank
definitely.
you for coming.
Yeah, and um, of course, I guess how can if people want to support you, and what you do, if people want to reach out to you, and maybe buy your journal or just just kind of just connect with you or something like that. How can they do so?
Man. So try not to get a little emotional. So I'm trying to keep it together, right? Because this is life and death for me right here, man. This is life and death for me. This is something that I love, you know, helping people see their potential even when they're feeling like they're getting beat up. Because I got beat up, right? That's my story. I got beat up in school. The threat of getting beat up. What do you do? But I had somebody tell me, fight back, right? Or tell my aggressors, my bullies, no. But I wasn't confident in saying no because I wasn't skilled. I wasn't empowered with the tools to defend myself if need be. So what did I do? I took lessons. I took martial arts lessons. I can fight now. I don't fight, but I can fight. With my health, I gain knowledge so that I can apply that knowledge and fight back. Not be gullible or naive to the information that's out there. One article, for example, one article, I see this medical doctor stated that collagen, there's no medical research on how collagen is beneficial to the body. It's his article. But then I go look at a medical journal and it stated that collagen is beneficial to healing, right? So collagen is one factor that I use in my program, collagen peptides.
Mm-hmm.
So, but if I did not have that knowledge, that courage to say, hold up, man, I'm not going to believe what you say, not for face value. I'm a research, then I'm a critical thinking, right? Critical thinking. I'm going to make a intelligent choice based on knowledge. So me helping others to fight back with knowledge is my purpose in life. And I take that very serious, right? So for anyone who's listening, for anyone who is experiencing bad news, for anyone who's experiencing not only issues with their gut, but they may not know they're having a gut issue, but are experiencing other issues, such as brain fog, because brain fog is a symptom of poor gut health. You can reach me on my social media handle, TY underscore SC. That's for South Carolina, TY underscore SC. You can reach me on my Facebook group, We Are Holistic with an H. We Are Holistic. And also you can reach me by email. tyiamholistic@icloud.com.
Thank you.
Cool. Cool.
Thank you.
Well, definitely, thank you. And I again, just for me personally, I appreciate you coming, on the show, and it means a lot to me. And just share your journey, all those challenges. It's not easy, so I think it's just kind of salute to to anybody that does it. So so with that, guys, please if you enjoy what you heard, if you like what you heard today, please subscribe to our podcast and our YouTube channel. Our show, Crohn's Veteran Podcast, has been nominated for Best in Show Podcast, Rookie of the Year, and advocating for others by the We Go Health Network. So please go on our website, www.crohnsveteran.com, and nominate us, and also check out our website too. We have a brand new merch, a brand new store. So I can announce on this episode with Ty Jordan that the Crohn'sVeteranStore.com is live. So please check that out. Any kind of feedback to make it better. It's been labor of love from the whole team, and so just again, all the support, all the love, we appreciate it, and subscribe, check us out. So again, Ty, thank you, man.
Before we leave, I want to say shout out to Angela Jackson for coming to the stream and showing a whole bunch of love.
Thank you, Angela. We appreciate it. Definitely.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Cool. And again, Ty, thank you, sir.
Thank you, Ty.
Thank you guys, and I support you guys.
Thank you.
The recording has stopped.